Welcome to Chapter 7 of the Platinum Planner Preceptor Training Program, Documentation and Using Platinum Planner. In this chapter we'll talk about completing the preceptor portion of Platinum Planner, as well as accurately rating the student's performance based on a 5-level scale. Basically, when you become a preceptor in association with the Platinum Planner program, an account will be created for you. Preceptor accounts are either created by the student when they go to complete their paperwork for a clinical experience, or a school administrator may actually create your account. In either case, you will be given a username. Then the first time you go to log into Platinum Planner, you enter your username and then create a password. Then just to log in, you enter your username and password and you are in. Once you are in, you will be able to view approval requests. When you select View Approval Requests, you'll see shift summaries, time, skills, and talk about whether they're observed or see whether they're observed, attempted, or successful. Let's take a look at that. Shift summary and students' uploads and documents. So when, again, you hit View Approval Requests, you will see a currently viewing requests and a listing of all the requests that are in there. In this case, we're just looking at one. If you have a lot of them and you just want to find a particular student, you can search your requests by any of the keys that you see there or fields. When you want to look specifically at a student, you select the student's name or somewhere along that line, and at the bottom of the page you will see then Shift Summary, Feedback to the Student, and Student Uploads tabs. Then your next focus will be to actually focus on that shift summary. When focusing on the shift summary, pay particular attention to the shift start time and end time. This is how the student gets their hours for their clinicals. So make sure that it is in fact when they did show up and it is in fact when they left. Sometimes students put what they were scheduled to do versus what they actually did. If it looks different, if it looks wrong, then that might be a reason to reject the request right there. Then look at what they said they did. Now, in what they said they did in their skills, if we take a look, we see that they marked that they assessed a geriatric patient, but that they just observed that they safely administered medication, but really they observed that. They safely gained venous access, but they attempted that and they safely gained venous access and were successful. The only skill they will actually get credit for is the very last one listed there, safely gaining venous access. They do not get credit for observing, they do not get credit for attempting. Attempting basically means they tried and failed. So as you look at that, you might think, oh, they're trying to double dip and get credit for 2 venous access attempts. But in fact, they're only going to get credit for the last one, the successful attempt. If everything looks the way you think it should, then you would select Approve. If everything looks wrong, then you should select Reject. There's no place on this page right here to put any type of documentation as to why you're approving or rejecting. However, another thing you can look at prior to approval or rejection is the student uploads. So you may look there and they'll have a report on, a patient care report on the patients, or maybe narratives that they've uploaded associated with these clinicals. You can take a look at those and say, yep, that's what they did and they're describing it well, or no, they're embellishing this quite a bit. That might be a reason for you to reject a clinical as well. Once you've decided whether you're going to approve and reject, you will then see the feedback form. On our feedback form, talk briefly about it before we take a look at it. It rates them from 5 outstanding down to 1 bad. It's an area for comments, and we'll talk about what a 1 and selecting a 1 or 2 actually does within the system. So the feedback form looks something like this. Again, 5 and 4 are outstanding and very good respectively. 1 and 2 are unacceptable or fair respectively. And all you do is put your cursor over the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 circle, select that. You can change it if you've selected a 4 and you want to make it a 5, you can make that change. There's an area for comments. Comments are spectacular. This part really describes the professional aspects of the student, so we really do want to see comments. So we'd really appreciate you marking these out completely. The 1 and the 2, if I select a 1 or a 2, that automatically then, when submitted, will send a report to either the instructor and or the clinical coordinator saying, hi, during this event, a less than optimal thing occurred. Having that information in the comments is invaluable to that person, because just marking a 1 or 2 without any comments isn't very helpful. At the very bottom of the page, there's an in general comment. That in general comment would be the perfect place then to describe why you maybe rejected the student. I'm rejecting the student's clinical because they indicated that they were there for 8 hours when in fact they were only there for 4. That is also why you saw a 1 in integrity, because the student lied about this. So again, in general, documentation using Platinum Planner. We talked about how easy it is to log in. Accounts created for you. You log in. You view clinical opportunities, requests. You complete those. You complete then the student rating portion. You submit, and you're all set. So that would be the end of Chapter 7, Documentation and Using Platinum Planner. Thank you.